I know that you guys left many comments about what you wanted to watch. Uh, Ultimately, the poll decided, and what the poll decided was unequivocally new mutation was it. So I would like to get into this now, if that's okay with
Yeah,
you, Joe.
that is fine.
So the episode starts. We open where it says somewhere in
Somewhere
China.
in China. Somewhere.
Um,
We don't know.
One thing I'll say is immediately my spider senses start tingling. For what I am a little worried about is going to be some problematic content that is going to come from this, which is sort of unfortunately, and we have to kind of reference this, I believe, a problem throughout all of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, um, which is the very unfortunate racist stereotype
Yes.
of people that are represented, Asian people that are represented in the show.
Yes.
We really get into that with Splinter, and there's a very
Yes.
problematic history of Splinter. So I want to say before we go any further, um, this is unfortunately baked into the what this is. It is not, at least so far, there's nothing that is overtly aggressive in that way, but it is certainly needs to be pointed out that there is some not so great depictions of Asian characters in this show and the sort of lore around the show and really the movies and in some ways just even the characters. And the
Yes.
whole thing is a little. So I just want us all, as we venture into this, to acknowledge that at the
Acknowledge it.
top.
Yes. It almost
Because
sounded
yeah.
dubbed over by just or somebody doing what they believed an Asian person would speak right off the bat.
Well,
First scene.
we'll get to that, but you will not be surprised, unfortunately, to learn that the actor playing Splinter is a white actor, as is the case in, I believe, most depictions of Splinter, or in any event, generally not, at least in the older things, someone who's not Asian, and doing a voice that is unequivocally uh, racist and problematic. So I want to say that at the top because I really can't go without saying
No,
because
it's
it
literally
is
the
not.
first thing you see.
Yes,
Yes.
immediately. Okay, so
Apparently,
then
they
we
all go
see,
after saying
yeah,
every single word.
not great. So again, look, you guys voted for the show. I'm not pinning that on you. I'm simply saying that we are watching this, and it has to be acknowledged that this is something that's happening. We then meet a cloaked figure with just a big old head, just a giant ass dome that
Big
tells
old melon
you
head.
and anybody watching, oh, this is a Ninja Turtle in a cloak. Like there's no, because no human like thing has this giant dome over them.
Covered
The master,
inside.
yeah, it's unclear to me what this character is. Um, One of the first lines that are uttered is, maybe I could drink some tea. Um,
Yes, yes, yep. I love that. That was good.
Now, the other thing is, it's fun to watch this kind of stuff and understand what cultural references are being taken and used when it comes to media. And
Yeah.
we have very quickly just a straight up Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger ripoff, where the sort of dinosaur shaped character comes through the mirror exactly in the effect that is used in Nightmare on Elm Street and is in fact a dream creature
Yes.
who's talking to people when they are asleep. So Freddy Krueger bursts out of a mirror and says that the most ancient evil has awakened to destroy us all. We then
Yep.
get into the theme song. Now, Joe, what did you think of the theme song for this show?
Well, I mean, it's short and sweet, and let me tell you, most people are partying all night until the morning. They are getting work done, or something.
Mhm.
It honestly flew by so fast that I missed. We should break down the lyrics honestly because
Yeah, I
it was
couldn't really tell
glorious.
the lyrics. I the one thing that bothered me first of all, is extremely late 90s, early
Yes,
2000s in tone.
yes.
Um, it was troublingly reminding me of those Girls Gone Wild infomercials that would play when we were kids on
Yeah.
TV. Like,
Yes.
I don't know, anybody around our age will definitely know what we're talking about because they were on TV just all the time on cable. And it was that, for some reason, the tone for me really felt reminiscent of that. And that's not something I've thought about for a very long time. Then the show opens with the silhouette shadow of two turtles talking to each other,
Yes.
ironically offering the most trash dialogue of all time in front of a
Trash.
large pile of trash. Yeah.
Yeah.
The lines "Kiss My Shell" and "Ninja Geek" are both uttered. Um, and we then get what feels like about 45 seconds of like motorcycle porn, where we sort of
Yes.
slow motion look at the totality of this shitty motorcycle um,
In all its
for
glory.
way too long. Uh, I do want to say right now, and this is an important part of this experience for me. I love these costumes so fucking much. I
Yeah.
absolutely, when I was a little kid, uh, there was almost nothing that would have been more of a peak of human experience than to have one of these turtle costumes from the movies, and of course into the series. I used to, and I'm just going to let you guys know about something. Um, there's two things that I used to employ as a kid to make myself feel more like a Ninja Turtle. One was that I realized that if I held these two fingers here, I could have a Ninja Turtle hand, which
Ah.
is, I don't know if anyone's ever realized that, but if you got rid of those two fingers, you have a Ninja Turtle hand. The other was a more classic approach, which is to take a pillow and a brown belt and to belt a pillow to your back so that you had a shell and then the little belt that they had.
Yeah,
And
I
then
did
I
that
would
one.
rip. Red was, we had a lot of Cincinnati Reds t-shirts. So I'd rip a Reds t-shirt and make a thing, for the mask. So it was always Raphael, which is weird. I don't know why I was attracted to Raphael as the character, since
The angsty one.
he just sucks out loud at all times. Like it's just the worst.
Yeah.
In really
Yeah.
every iteration. Like even the first movie starts with him just walking alone and bitching. And
Oh
now
yeah.
this show, once again, here he is just mad as hell about something. Um, I want to
Raphael.
say I wrote down a note here that says that these costumes are terrible and somehow even worse than the original ones, and I love everything about them. There's a shot of Raphael at 3 minutes and 27 seconds where he's riding the bike and his mouth is open, and that is truly and purely godlike. So that's the note
Yep.
that I wrote. So if you're watching it, go to 327 and look at just open-mouthed Raphael riding the bike.
Catching flies. No
Yeah.
expression, just an open mouth.
And I think that is because it's the stunt suit that he's using there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is something that happens throughout the show, where anytime that the stunt suit is being employed, the mouth either just doesn't move at all. And the problem is, I can understand this is probably a shoestring budget, but there's a fair amount of times where they are doing dialogue is happening during a fight or just after a fight, where the stunt mouth is still in and so it's just a wide open mouth with no animatronics.
Yep. Yep. I noticed that one too.
And then we do finally get the animatronic mouth with
Yeah.
the closest shot you've ever seen of a turtle face, and it's just nonsense, just moving at all random times. It does not seem to have any rhyme or reason or have to do with what Raphael is saying at all.
No.
Uh, so then we go to Splinter playing chess,
With
and
a
again,
blind
as I
man.
mentioned, yes, as I mentioned earlier, he is voiced by an actor named Stephen Mendel, who is a white actor and doing, once again, as we would say, a racist, stereotypical accent that is, again, unfortunately, employed in the totality of this character on film in any capacity. So not great.
Yep.
Just want to say that. Now, what happens is Splinter then has sort of a spider sense moment
Yes.
where he thinks that one of his turtles is in danger. And then we cut to the turtles' den, like their bat cave for the first time. Joe, what did you think of these turtles' den?
Um, there was more to it than I thought. I was trying because I remember in the movies it was like an abandoned subway car, I believe, that I
Yeah.
thought was pretty cool. There was that. I didn't see that. It looked kind of just like a bunch of trash scattered about with a ladder to get down. I didn't see a lot of details. I don't know if did you catch anything in particular?
No, but one thing I did notice is that it does seem as if this show, and I guess I didn't realize it when I was a kid, is meant to be the next movie. So time has passed because later they reference that they're almost 18 years old.
Oh, that's
So
right.
we're meant to like this comes after Turtles in Time, basically. And so
Right.
they've upgraded their costumes to be worse for some reason, where they've
Right.
changed their masks and
I'm wondering if they're
um
wearing like bandana or things over the top of their heads because the suit was just falling apart. I wouldn't
well,
be
one
shocked.
thing that's troubling is that they do little to cover the eye holes for the actors in these faces. And so just below the mask line, there's a big holes where in certain shots you can see people may know, I forget which movie it is. At some point, I think Pat maybe pointed this out that there's a scene in maybe the second movie where the turtle's mouth opens and you can see a guy's whole face inside the mouth. Um,
That's right.
and it's horrifying. That's a little what's happening here with the eye holes below the masks. Um, the break the bricks as a phrase is then said 500 times consecutively
Yeah, they pushed
um,
that real hard.
by every turtle that's around. Uh,
I don't get it.
and conveniently, they invent tracking software at the exact time that Raphael is lost,
Yes.
and they're able to catch that. Uh, the shot at and I got a note here. The shot at 6:39. All I can think about is how much I love these costumes. Okay, so that's a shot where you get three turtles all in the frame, and you can see the little eye holes, and the costumes look like just absolute shit. And it kind of made me think about my love of the Mighty Ducks costume from eBay
Yeah.
of years ago. I may shift my focus and try to get one of these turtle costumes at some point. I've got that Blackbird statue in here, the mannequin. If I also had just a decaying old turtle costume, what could like at what point could you consider life any better than when that occurs?
Oh,
That's the
absolutely.
peak.
Oh, definitely.
So uh the turtle Hummer is the next thing that we see,
Yep. Yep. Big
which
deal at
gets
the time.
it gets a full Batman 66 reveal, including the pull out onto the street. So very reminiscent of the show that we were watching. And Raphael, at this point now, we cut to him who's been getting his ass kicked for what
In
you
a
can assume is an
couple hours.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's at the same sort of level of in the fight where he's just
Yeah.
getting his ass kicked by several Foot Clan members for
Yeah.
any amount of time. Splinter shows up, twirls the stick, and then hits each member of the Foot Clan, and a loud sort of hitting a can noise,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
clunk.
Mhm. I was trying to
It's
pinpoint
odd.
what that
It
sound
reminded
was.
me of one of those sticks that go, wah, wah, you know what I mean? Like those
Right.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
party
Yeah. Yeah.
stick. Yeah.
For my dentist.
Uh, so there's another shot here where Raphael is wearing the weird stunt helmet, and he says, "Yeah, Shredder," and just no mouth movement at all. And it's a fairly close-up shot. The turtles arrive to save the day, and I believe Donatello says everybody went all ninja in here, which is just useless nonsense dialogue.
Yeah. Great.
Now, 10 minutes in is my favorite shot in the whole show
Okay.
so far. It is, for some reason, there is a full scene of dialogue between Splinter and the turtles
Hmm.
where they're talking about how Shredder is still out there how they're getting older, all this stuff. It's like an important pivotal scene, and it is shot 600 yards away in like a security cam style from up above with zero coverage of the turtle. This entire scene is shot. They're all with their backs to the camera, including Splinter. Everyone has got their backs to the camera, and they're talking to each other, and it's just way back there. Like there's no they zero. At some point, you had to go. All right, are we going to push in a little bit and get some coverage? And the director said no. We're just
I
going to
don't
do a
think that the
static shot
scene
from
was in
behind.
the script. I think they realized later that they needed to add this in
Sure.
ADR. So they found some random B roll or something of just them far away. So we didn't actually have to see that none of that. They forgot Shredder.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
editing. Wait a minute.
Yeah, because
Everyone's
none
going
of
to be
their
asking.
mouths moved, to my knowledge, during this. So you might be right.
No.
This might have just been the actors waiting for the next shot, just talking
Yes.
to one another in costume.
Yeah. Yeah. The actual audio is them just like, why am I wearing this? The suit is falling apart. What are we doing?
Yeah. We then meet our version of Shredder for this show,
Yeah.
who
Freddy
just
Krueger.
sucks. Just the
Yeah.
costume sucks. So far, the worst part of the show is Shredder. His throne in the den is literally a lawn chair painted silver. If you want to go back and check that out, it is a silver lawn chair like our grandparents used to have in the backyard. Uh,
Oh
Not great.
god. No. The guy
Splinter
because honestly,
has
like when you think about the movie, like was legit. Really, as a kid, I was scared of
intimidating
that
for sure.
guy. And it still looks
Yes,
badass. That's
yes.
not the case
This
this
for
time.
some reason they I maybe to point out they forgot Shredder. That maybe they forgot to have a costume or anything because this guy is just wearing sort of a lycra, unflattering lycra top with all of the Foot Clan are wearing those sort of the tanning things from the 60s that people would put like this to tan. That's
Yeah.
their shoulder pads. And then the helmet's fine, but
Yeah.
it is the worst shredder ever.
Yep.
Um, Splinter goes on an acid trip and sees
Yes.
the giant floating head of his buddy. CGI is just fucking killing it at this point.
Yeah.
Um, Unbelievable.
Yes.
And we have more enchanted glass shit with the Freddy Krueger dinosaur. Um, Things aren't going that well. We
And I
cut
love that.
to
Go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
Just the dialogue turning back to somewhere in China. The guy demanding that he that this dinosaur creature stop what they're doing right away because I believe it was master of the internal arts.
Yeah.
The guy.
And again, once again, I want to mention just cringing at the stereotype, the Chinese stereotypes
Yeah.
happening here.
Brutal.
Just brutal. I'm really hoping that we don't deal with the Master of the Internal Arts at any point after this,
Yeah,
uh,
I can't imagine we would. Maybe.
because something tells me that we can't trust these filmmakers to do anything but the most problematic version of this character.
Yes.
We
Yes.
go now into the sewers, which is clearly about 4 feet of space in a soundstage. That it's We then see the sewer rocket, which is sort of like a log flume ride
Yeah, that was cool.
that has been developed.
Yeah.
There's a member of the Foot Clan there hiding behind some trash who points out that this is happening, and then they cut back to the Foot Clan and all of the silver shoulder pads. They're listening on like one of those phones. I might be wrong, but I remember it like this.
Yeah.
Uh,
From
and
the
like
30s?
and like yeah, and Shredder's like sort of Glengarry Glen Ross style, like yelling at his employees over their shoulder in the cubicle. Um, Leonardo smashes his head into the bricks for no reason.
Yeah.
But there was a buildup for it, so sort of Chekhov's gun situation where you have to, if you have those bricks there, you've got to use them.
Yes.
Then we go to the Dream Realm again. Freddy Krueger is talking to Splinter and then shoots fire at the mirror guy and says something about his pretty daughter.
Yeah, and that Freddy Krueger's going to use the dreams of the internal arts people,
Again,
masters,
uh,
to enter our world.
just
Again, yeah, just straight up Freddy
just
Krueger.
straight up, yeah, 100 million%. Not only the means in which they're the stretched out mirror thing, but the motivation. All of it
Yes,
is Freddy Krueger, which is such
yes,
an odd thing. The only thing I can think is that I believe the original Turtles movie was New Line Cinema, and I
yeah,
think that that was where the
hmm
original Freddy, the Nightmare on Elm Street series was released. Maybe they had just walked around the lot a lot and saw some of those things.
yeah, yeah.
There,
Safe bet.
by the way, we might get to this. I believe that speaking of collabos, I think we get to a collabo between these turtles and the Power Rangers.
Oh,
I
I mean
think that
that
there's
would
a
make
team up
sense.
episode.
Oh, I
Yeah,
can't wait for that.
I do believe that there's a team up episode. So hopefully we can find that, or I don't know if it's in this or if if they guessed it on Power Rangers. I don't know, but I do believe that we get to see this group with the Power Rangers. Um,
What's that?
so Raphael's walking alone and says to himself, "That's right, Raph rocks." Just again pointing out that Raphael continues to be just the worst. And again, inexplicably my favorite.
Yeah, yeah,
One of the worst fights of all time happens for the next 20 minutes.
yeah. In the layer.
The longest fight. So many quips. Just the quippiest of fights. And not good quips, but a lot of like, ha, ha, turtle smash. Take that, you fucking bitch, or whatever. Like that's all they say through the
But then
whole
they
thing.
stop. They give us a reprieve when the phone rings, and it is the pizza company, and they ordered what was it? An all green pizza with black licorice, I think. And then they return
Yeah,
to the
and
fight.
0 shots of pizza, by the way. Only the
Yes,
insinuation of pizza. We don't get any
yes.
turtles eating pizza. I thought for sure that this episode would wrap up with some of that, the cheese pull of a turtles pizza, where it's just that endless
I think it's possible the
cheese.
filmmakers were not familiar with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and had never seen any of the material, which is why there is no pizza. And the one scene about Shredder, they filmed from 20 yards or 200 yards away.
It's possible. And to be honest with you, the lore does not link up that well between the films and this series. So it is possible that maybe we're dealing with people that were not familiar. Um, the last thing that happens, Splinter is not doing well. He's having a bad dream, getting attacked by Freddy Krueger, presumably. And
Yes.
then we meet finally who we now know because of research is Venus de Milo, the new turtle. She takes her hood off, reveals that pretty turtle face,
Yep.
and that's it. We're done. That's the
She's
end of
going to New
episode
York.
1. So she's going to New York. Joe, how many Kevin Garnetts are you going to give this episode?
Should we grade this show either on turtle bricks or shells, or do you want to stick with Garnett?
Well, I think that the viewers have come to expect Garnetts from us.
Okay. Okay.
So why don't
Uh,
we have two different categories? Why don't we have two different categories for it? Garnetts will indicate overall enjoyment in
yeah.
terms of filmmaking.
Yeah.
And then turtle bricks will indicate nostalgia levels and enjoyment from like how much did this make you laugh? So we should have two gradings. We should have
You're right.
the critic score and the audience score, the sort of Rotten Tomatoes here. Garnetts
There we
will
go.
be our criticisms. Turtle bricks will be enjoyment level.
Yes. All right. So I'll go with 2.38 Kevin Garnett's
Okay.
and 3.5 turtle bricks.
Okay.
Are the
All
bricks
right.
on
I'm gonna
a
get
1 out of 5 scale, and then the Garnetts are a 1 out of 10?
both out of 10.
Oh, both out of 10. Then I'll go with a 6.2 shells
Turtle
or
bricks.
bricks.
Okay. I'm gonna go 1.38 on the Garnetts.
Yeah.
And a solid 8.9 turtle bricks. I
Okay.
enjoyed
Yeah.
this. I'm in.
Yeah. Oh, I did too. Yeah.
I was bummed about the loss of Batman, but now I'm excited about jumping into this.
Yeah, I definitely am as well. And I'm wondering if we're going to get a new theme song for episode 2, because I've been Googling the lyrics to the next Mutation theme song, and they're not what we heard. And I've seen it multiple places. So I'm wondering.
We get maybe this, because this is the pilot. We have been pretty harsh on this for it being the pilot. We don't know where this is going to go.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, pilots are notoriously a little rough around the edges. So hopefully episode 2 sticks landing a little better. We'll see.
Well, Joe, enjoy your trip to Vegas. Have fun. I'm excited about this. Let us know in the comments what you guys thought of this first episode. Episode 2 is next week, so be sure to watch it. And we love you. We love you just as much as turtles love bricks.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.